See, I already have to stop myself from asking you the same question. Like, that's the funny thing about that.
Yeah.
We've been asked that hundreds of times.
Speculations are currently taking place in the Wolf-Eyes laboratories.
Well, what we're looking at is something we've all never seen before. And it's gonna get a little sincere too. I might start tearing up a bit.
Q Waterworks.
One, obviously, we're now playing with MB Carbon as much as we possibly can. And obviously that's difficult. She lives in New York. You know, we're in Detroit.
I'm glad to be here with MB Carbon, you know.
Play cello and synth and amplified objects, oscillators.
Through growing up together throughout the years, I mean, we're talking 20 odd years now. We've all known each other the majority of that time.
They had asked me to play with them a long time ago, but things didn't work out because I moved to New York.
Even with the distance, you know, I mean, we do see a vernacular happening and forming. It's something that is so natural, we often feel very naked and vulnerable, I suppose. Oh, here it comes.
Yeah.
But I think that's what every musician, or rather every artist, I think, goes through. Before, I never really saw a line between musician and artist. I mean, not that I see one now so much, but I definitely see the difference.
After rehearse, debate the music or practice in front of a casual audience. How does that advance your techniques?
On Sundays, we used to have what we call secret society gigs, where we would go to our buddy's house in the afternoon. It would just be like a handful of jammers, and one person would just jam numerous times, and afterwards we'd just get blown out and critique they set, you know what I'm saying? Playing for your friends is the hardest, because your friends are gonna tell you when it's not happening, man. And your friends have seen you good and bad. So jamming for your peers is like where you kind of go for the lake of fears, because that shit gets, you know, out come the tears, man. They'll tell you it's not happening. You wanna hang out with people that tell you that, you know what I'm saying?
You have one city to bathe in eternal darkness. What city is it and why?
None, man. All cities are cool. There's cool cats in every city, man. Leave the lights on. Yeah. Everybody needs a little light in their life. Or if not, just jam in the darkness, man.
What's the worst city you've ever been to?
Because of fear and political unrest, was Jerusalem. And I think it shook all of us really bad. But I really loved meeting the people. We found ourselves at a army base that was doubled as a dance school for teenagers because they're in the military at that point, mandatory, you know, Israeli army. So it was really heavy, you know. We arrive and we're actually doing a Q&A for all these Israeli soldiers, you know, students, cadets, I suppose, you know. It was really heavy. The questions they had, they were not easy questions.
Describe the worst thing about the best neighbor you've had and the best thing about the worst neighbor you've ever had.
I'm the worst dude to have as your neighbor, because I'm like, my neighbor to the right of me, I've lived there for 6 years, she's never looked at me in the face. I don't even know her name, yeah.
Wow.
I've been next to her at the stores in the neighborhood, has never looked at me. And I mean, I practice all day in the house, like just scales and horrible shit, mouthpieces, like some sax, the worst neighbor instrument besides drums, you know, literally all day until it gets weird to practice anymore.
Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
Do you play tenor saxophone?
Yes.
Will you play that 10 or 15 feet away from me?
Or miles.
Or miles.
I'm happy to be here for the inclusion of PSYCHO Jazz in L.A. I want to thank you.
You know, L.A. obviously is totally insane, obviously. But you wouldn't know, I mean, you'd think Detroit, it's like, oh, it's kind of tragic and fucked up, you know, and you got Flint, too, and you're like, Michigan, you're like, what, you got these assholes, you got Ted Nugent, and it goes on and on.
Kid Rock.
Oh, But man, there's some really surreal aspects to it all.
What I tried to do was the Delta Juggalo Blues for y'all.
I think people outside of the Midwest, people in their metropolis bubbles, don't understand.
What is in the Wolf Eyes 21st Century Survival Kit?
Weeks ago, we realized if we put things inside a bag, people would buy them. What does it have? It has a plain white t-shirt, nothing else on it.
Shades.
Shades, a handkerchief.
Oh, like a receipt stub or something. Carbon, what should we put in this pack to make it complete?
Skull cap and mud work.
What's mud work? Does it involve mud?
Yeah.
If you had to pick an unused post-industrial building in Detroit to reclaim, what would it be?
Take over like a lot of land and have people build their own structures and like try to really do the earth right. Just let artists and people come and develop and study and do residencies. We need that in that area. There's not a lot of room to give yourself space, you know, and time to think. It needs to happen, you know.